Welcome back. You're watching the budget special on Young Turks. Now, 2007 was a big year on both the M&A as well as the FDI front. We saw records being broken. But what more needs to be done in terms of policy action to keep the momentum going in 2008? Here's India Inc.'s view on what they want from the finance minister.
$70 billion. That's what the M&A ticker showed at the end of 2007. That's a 150% jump over the previous year. This boom has been fueled by private equity participation, consolidation in sectors like telecom and pharma, and the growth of the real estate sector as well as internal reorganization. 1,081 deals got sealed, including those that grabbed the headlines like Tata Chorus, Hindalco Novelis and Corporate India's largest deal ever, Vodafone Hutch. Metals and telecom kept Deal Street buzzing, and IT and ITES were not far behind. Most deals were outbound, with domestic consolidation paling in comparison. But deals done by India Inc. still make up only 1.5% of the estimated value of global deals, which rose to $870 billion last year. While corporate India was hot on deals, the Indian economy found favor with international investors. Sectors like manufacturing, auto, semiconductors, electronic hardware and services saw the inflow of dollars.
In April-January 2006-07, foreign direct investment amounted to US $12.5 billion and outpaced portfolio investment, which was US $6.8 billion.
Global giants like IBM, General Motors, Nokia and Suzuki announced major investments in the country. But India's FDI score looks dismal in comparison to China. Further liberalization and clarity in policy, industry experts say, is the need of the hour.
Hi, I'm Akil Hirani, 38 years. I'm the managing partner at Majmudar & Co. International Lawyers. My expectations from the budget are a renewal of the tax holiday, which will help the STPI and the export-oriented units, and more clarity on the double tax avoidance agreements and their impact under Indian tax law.
2007 will go down as the year of big-ticket mergers and acquisitions for India. It's not just corporate India that's benefited from the M&A game, but also a battery of corporate lawyers like Akhil Hirani, managing partner at Majmudar & Company. But has the government done enough to change the rules of the M&A game?
I think from a tax point of view, there are a couple of issues. I think the one issue, and this may not be directly M&A related, but it nevertheless impacts a number of companies, at least in the technology and the services sector. So the tax holiday, which most of these companies are benefited by, is going to expire in 2009. March 2009 is the cutoff date. And the finance ministry at the moment is not fairly keen on renewing this tax holiday. Now, what was supposed to have happened in the interim was that the SEZ policy and the SEZs were all to have been up and about, which has also seen some difficulty, and we haven't really had the SEZs come up where some of these companies could migrate into. So what's going to happen, and already there's a lot of talk on a potential impact even to the likes of an Infosys or the top tier IT companies, is the fact that their income is going to be subject to a 34% tax, the export income. And so there is no clarity on this issue.
Majmudar & Company, established in 1943, specializes in corporate law, providing legal expertise for anything from M&As to international investors looking to cash in on the booming Indian economy. With a client list that includes big boys across industries like GE and Life Insurance Corporation, Akhil says the government must continue with tax holidays and clarify regulations on taxing income. A big leap forward would also be implementing changes to the outdated company law.
I think the government should simplify company law. I think that is one thing which is a must, okay, and that will really streamline M&A. Right now, what we have on the table is a company bill, which is seeking to simplify it and is based on the J.J. Hirani report. And we also have a Competition Act, which is a 2002 law, but it's now finally, hopefully, seeing the light of day. So we've got some things on the table, which again we're not sure, when they'll see the light of day. So I think in terms of unfinished business, if they can harmonize these two laws and bring them up, into effect and notify them, I think that'd be very useful.
With offices in Bangalore and operating through an integrated network of independent offices in New Delhi, Hyderabad and Chennai, Majmudar & Co. conducts transactions all over India. The firm has a national team of 50 lawyers that helps corporate India seal deals and operate in a globalized world. Akhil firmly believes that India's quest for growth will need large doses of capital, FDI in particular. But to make India an even more attractive destination, changes are needed in both policy and law.
Insurance has been another sector which, it's at 26%, and there has been talk over the last few years of increasing that to, 49%. Now, the fact of life, and this is a known fact, is that, the foreign investors or the foreign insurance companies are A, bringing in their products, and B, also bringing in the money to roll these products out. Now, when you cap them at 26% and they're still required to bring in the capital, because at many a times the Indian partner doesn't have the wherewithal to match them, and in many cases most of them are industry players who are also trying to venture into insurance because it's a new sector and they should be a part of it. So even the expertise and the experience is not there. So in that kind of a backdrop, having such a restriction, makes little sense, because you or I if you're buying a house and you're paying, all money for it, and if someone tells you, well, you can only have one room, or you only own one room, although you can use the rest of the rooms, it's not going to be palatable.
Well, that's what our young Turks want, to keep Deal Street buzzing and to keep those dollars coming in. Time for us to take a break, but when we return, will the Finance Minister have a sweetener for the textile sector like he did in the last budget? Stay tuned to the Young Turks Budget Special to find out.